Well, hi everybody. I'd like to thank everybody for their prayers and concerns for my last video with the severe weather. It lasted about 3 or 4 hours. We didn't lose power. All animals were safe, including family members. Not that they're animals, but you know what I mean. We certainly copped about 20 mil of rain in a very short period of time. Bit of lightning, bit of thunder. Most of it was just crazy wind. And light, after a massive downpour, light rain. I think we were lucky, and the people in other suburbs further out were the ones that actually copped most of it. But it was certainly an interesting night. I've had a few people ask me, excuse me, on what does my channel name mean. Probably more about the mental health. I believe mental health has a huge impact on our society. A lot of it comes down to our food and what is in it, and the pressures of trying to fit into society. A lot of us feel boxed and that we're not allowed to be unique in ourselves, and you know, God made us to be unique in ourselves. He made us to have community and share, and unfortunately a lot of us don't find that community. I could go into a little bit of my past, but you know, I have a bit of a dark past, and I've had this little birdie, little ducky. I've had to work really hard to be where I am today, and I've been diagnosed through in and out of the years with depression, and you know, we all have depression at times. Oh, lovely. That's something we really wanted to see, Ducky. I guess that's what he or she thinks of that. I've lost my train of thought now. And I guess, you know, my husband has some pretty severe mental health issues. He had a breakdown in 2012 on the 14th of Feb. And I have fought very hard for him to get the help that he needs, and I don't know, our mental health system in Australia, I think, needs a lot of work. Unless you're out trying to shoot someone or hurt people, you aren't taken seriously, and I've had to just work really hard. He's a lot better than what he was, but he still has some pretty major issues. I believe he has bipolar, but getting that diagnosed without having to pay an arm, a leg and a bit more is incredible. And yes, we have Medicare, but Medicare doesn't cover that, unfortunately. And we are on a very, very tight budget. So I've done research and was looking into ways that we could help him, like through naturopaths, which are expensive as well, but through herbs, and he is medicated for his depression, but it's just like a band-aid, you know. You have to still work on it, and find out where these issues come from deep within, and you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. And he's definitely come a long way throughout the years, don't get me wrong. I also have kids with autism and ADHD, and to cut a long story short, really it comes down to our food and what we eat and what is put in it. Preservatives, what our food's sprayed with. I got really sick a few years back, and they were doing blood tests, couldn't work out what was wrong, and it actually came up to toxin buildup. And I'm a pretty healthy eater. I love my veggies, I love my fruit, I cook everything from scratch. And I had a huge amount of toxin buildup because I changed my diet to mainly fruit and veg, and it's what they spray our food with. So I guess that's where homesteading and mental health fit in, because to eat healthy food, you have to grow your own. And that includes meat, because our meat is fed grain. We don't have a lot of farms that grass feed all year round and hay feed all year round. They are fed grain, and our grain is sprayed with chemicals. So it just becomes a vicious circle. So this is why I am homesteading. One, I love it. I want to get back to the simple. I don't want to be part of the rat race. I don't want to be part of fitting into a box that society wants to put me into. I want to be where God wants me. And I have found an amazing amount of people on YouTube, that of a community of people that are just wonderful, and have taught me so much. I'm dyslexic, so I can't read very well. I can't spell very well. So my first place of research was YouTube. I was already growing my own veggies. I had chickens, because my husband eats a lot of eggs. So yeah, mental health is a huge impact on my life and my kids' life, my family life, and I believe society. But I can't change society. I can only live my life and hope that they will follow by example, which is a really big ask when you think about it. But if I can help one person, just one person, see that growing your own meat, veggies, fruit is a healthier option, and I think that's what God really wants us to do. Because for how long can this earth sustain the way we mass produce food, what we do to our soil? How long will that be sustainable before it goes bust? Before we have disease of plants? Before people realize that, and they are starting to realize that what's in our food is not real. Milk doesn't taste like milk anymore. Corn doesn't taste like corn anymore. Fruit, we bought a thing of apples from the supermarket, and my daughter Jessica had an apple, and she threw it out, and I'm like, oh, why'd you throw that out? To her it tasted like a mushroom, and I'm like, okay. So I had an apple, and it didn't taste like an apple, and I could see where she said it tasted like a mushroom. My dog is going spastic at the other dog, and if I yell at it, I'm going to deafen you all. But so that is why I have mental health on my YouTube, well, on my YouTube name. And I think a lot of yous out there will already understand and see that it is pretty self-explanatory. And I love this. Who can not love watching these animals grow from babies to adults? Every goat has its own personality, and this one's been naughty, eating the door to the goat, chicken, rabbit pen. Well, thank you for listening to my rambling. God bless. I wish you all many, many blessings. And I'll see you on the next one.